Good morning. So I want to talk about how you're going to be able to get customers in this day and age, in this 2023 or what's left of it, and then going into 2024 as a freight broker. So how do you go about finding those customers and trying to get them to engage with you in a conversation? So it's pretty complex in the world today in terms of business to business soliciting, just due to the current economic situation, the fact that we're not where we want to be, none of us, in terms of the economy firing on all cylinders, and volumes being where they need to be, and of course the market as it stands where it needs to be. So before we get into the customer discussions, just a quick update. Essentially, the fact that 2021 brought us pretty much double the amount of available carriers that we usually have available to hire as carriers for our loads. We went from something like 221,000 carriers to something like just under 493,000 carriers. So we are seeing carriers, the mom and pop shops, the people that got into it when freights were insane and absolutely absurd. We are seeing those carriers now kind of give up their owner operator status, motor carrier status, and either through bankruptcy or through just shutting down the business and joining mega carriers or larger carriers that have dedicated contract freight that they can haul and stay kind of afloat or feed their families, essentially. Now, this is the normal procedure that happens when there's a super bump in prices, just a huge elevation like the one we saw in 2021. There's an increase in capacity, but we got to the point where it was a double increase in the amount of trucks available. And so that's going to hurt prices. That's just typically how it goes. So now we're slowly easing into that correction where people will be, unfortunately, filing for bankruptcy, shutting down, like I said, getting rid of their own authority, joining an already existing authority, things of that nature. And once we see the correction for what it is and what it will be early on in 2024, all the way to maybe mid 2024, we will then be seeing rates go back to historical levels where they have been. I've always thought that rates are lower than where they need to be in terms of operating costs, historically speaking. However, I think we would all kind of like to go back to the days where rates are whatever normal should be, or historically speaking. So that is kind of a wish for all of us, because these low rates at the moment, it's making it hard on smaller freight brokers and of course carriers, to keep afloat. They got payments to make. Their overhead is huge from all sides, left, right, and center. Obviously, a lot more than my overhead sitting in an office, right? So I get it. I understand. But in terms of how to approach customers or how to go after potential prospects, first looking for those customers is a lot easier than people make it out to be. You don't have to go out and get a $5,000 shipper list that will have some incomplete information, some old or irrelevant information on there. You don't have to do that. You can. Nobody will stop you. No one will say, hey, you're going to go to jail if you do it. But at the same time, it's unnecessary to spend thousands of dollars in that, right? Especially in the beginning, and especially if you want to open up your own freight brokerage. Now, if you do decide to open up your own freight brokerage, if you're not yet in the industry and you want to get into it, you can reach out to us for getting you through the application process. That includes the surety bond, that includes the FMCSA application, that includes all the additional applications that are needed to get going and off the ground. If you are already established, even as an agent for an already established freight brokerage house, or if you are looking to, or if you are already opened and already have a freight brokerage opened up and legally authorized to run freight, that's good to do. And so once you got that all figured out, who you are and how you plan on moving forward with your business and your business plan, it's good to sit down and come up with a business plan. You know, what market you want to go after. You know, do you want to focus on a specific industry? Do you want to kind of put, you know, several eggs in several baskets instead of just all your eggs in one basket? It's up to you how you want to do that. And then once you've targeted, you know, maybe a little short list in terms of shippers you'd like to go after. If they are local, if they're regional and local, I'm truly an advocate of going into a place and talking shop, going into a place and actually talking to the logistics department, or even, you know, CFO if they're around, or somebody, an owner or somebody that's around that can make the decisions as to what carriers and what logistics service providers that shipper may use. So go in. You can find these places. Any place that has a dock is a good place to start. It's not rocket science. There's no magical pill. So you should go into these places and have a discussion and see if you could be of assistance to them, right? But you won't know if you don't try. Okay, you don't know if you don't go in and you have a discussion, and you won't even know if you don't follow up. Following up is one of the key things to freight brokerage success and freight brokering success. You have to go in multiple times. Sometimes the first time you go in, or the first phone call that you make, is just so you can get a second chance, a second meeting. So in reality, that's really what the first meetup is. Get acquainted, go back and forth, have a discussion, an open discussion, an honest discussion, and then have that second meeting where you can kind of talk business. And sometimes it takes 5, 6, 7, 8 follow-ups. There's places that I've reached out to and visited dozens of times before I got an opportunity. So the same is true for you. I'm no better than you. I have to do the same thing. I have to go through all of this as well. This is just how to get customers in this day and age. It's a consultative approach to selling. It's a advocate approach to selling, rather than the old school, you know, boring, annoying, traditional sales approach where you're like, buy, I'm the best, hurry, buy, and then rinse and repeat that. That may work for some people, a very small percentage of people. However, being persistent doesn't have to go, you don't have to go down the traditional sales approach. You can go down this consultative sales approach. Now, if you want more details about that, you can reach out to me again, but this is how you get customers in 2023. This is one of the tips I'm sharing with you. If you like this content, please like, share, and comment. Let me know if you have any questions. And then, of course, hit the follow button, because I will be sharing more of these, the subscribe button, and I will be sharing more of these little tips as to how you can become a better freight broker, and someone that can really change their own life and their family's life in terms of from a financial perspective, but also a career perspective, you know, where you have a kind of a clear, defined path towards success, not just, hey, yep, I'll give it a go, and, you know, kind of just all over the place without a plan. You know, a plan is very important in any business. So thank you very much again for, you know, sticking with me. If you have stuck here to the end for these 10 minutes of information and advice and tips for freight brokering. If you want more, please comment, like, subscribe, and we'll get going at it. So thank you very much. Cheers.